The American bee population has plummeted over the last 2 decades, and now there's work underway to determine whether or not it is time for some federal protection. And as the weather turns cooler, there are some things you can do right now to help the bee population.
Fox 9's Leah Bino spent some time at the University of Minnesota's Bee Lab today and has more.
And they can just be so remarkable and beautiful.
Identifying tiny dead bees, the people at the University of Minnesota Bee Lab in St. Paul study bee health, bee diversity, aiming to learn everything possible about these pollinators vital to our ecosystem.
But there's a lot to learn about bees.
It's estimated 1 in 3 species of bumblebees in Minnesota are on the decline. Earlier this fall, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service announced it will spend the next year evaluating whether or not Bombus pennsylvanicus, also known as the American bumblebee, should be protected under the Endangered Species Act. That makes this work expanding the database of information here, focused on more than 480 species of bees living in Minnesota, even more buzzworthy.
Most of them we don't really know how they're doing. We're just learning who's here. Are they still here?
While American bumblebees aren't honey producers, they are in metro backyards and could become the state's second endangered bee behind the rusty patch bee in 2017. Along with continuing to discourage the use of pesticides, Dr. Elaine Evans says this time of year, leaving some leaves on the ground and not raking everything in your yard can help.
The entire population of bumblebees next year is dependent on those queens surviving the winter. And they need that insulating layer of the leaves. So they'll be either just under the leaves or they'll just be a couple inches down. So if there's messy corners in your yard where you can leave some leaves there, that will help those bumblebees and other pollinators survive the winter.
Evans points out not trimming down perennial plants too far can also offer a stem to help bees through the winter. Because at this point, pollinators need all the help they can get.
These bees are connected to these plants, which are really connected to life on the planet.
Leah Bino, Fox 9.